Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi Theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've got another little Divi trick for you today, or a couple of tricks for you. We've got some images here. When I hover over, you will see another image hovers in, and we can click on this one, pop it out to a light box. The one next door here, if I hover over it, we've got a call to action module that pops in. And the one next door to that, if I hover over it, we've got a little blurb module with an icon, and you can turn this one into a link too if you want to. These are all really easy to do. There's no coding involved in this today, and they're nice little effects to have on your website. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the visual builder so we can build on the front end. And let's go down to where we want to work. I'll just add a new section below this one and we'll start from scratch. So I'm going to click on the little section, hit the little blue button. I'm going to insert a regular section. Inside, I'm going to put 3 columns purely because that's what I've got above. Okay, let's start off with a call to action module. And this will work with any module you like. You choose what you like, and we'll go through a couple here today. So I'm going to go for a call to action module for this one. I'm going to take a bit of that text away. I don't quite want as much as that. Obviously I've got no real text. You'd have some real text in there. As it's a call to action, we want a button in there. You can put your title up here, obviously. What you want your button to say right there. I know we can't see it. As soon as I put a link in for it, it will appear though. I'm going to leave mine on. Well, let's say learn more. And down below, we've got the content area, which is a regular WordPress text module. You can add any text you want, justify it where you want, bold, italicize, make bullet lists, links, quotations, and you can make titles if you want to and add media if you need to. I'm going to leave mine just like that. So if we move on down to the link just below, this is where you can put in the link for your button. As soon as I put something in there, it'll appear. I'll just put a hashtag in place of a link. Always best practice, if you're linking to your own site, keep it in the same window. If you're linking to somebody else's site, open it in a new tab. That way your site will stay open. If you want to link the whole module there to something else, you can do it right there, or even put the same link in if you want to. I'm going to put a capital L on there. Didn't do too well with that. Great, that's fine. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to give this a fixed height, or a minimum height at least, so it won't shrink down any smaller with a minimum height. That way, if I use different modules and images, I can get them all looking exactly the same. So I'm going to go over to my design now. I'm going to go down to sizing, and here we've got height. Let's try using minimum height for this today, because on tablet it may want to grow larger. So let's use minimum height, and let's say 250. No change there. Let's actually take this up to 300. There we go, that's going to work. We can adjust a bit of padding at the top if you want to knock this down a bit. So if go into our padding, let's try giving it 70 at the top. Yeah, that's made that look a bit more central. Great, well there's our first module. Let's add perhaps another module next door. Let's use an image for this next one. Again, I'm going to click on the dark one to add a new module. Divi comes as standard with all these great modules. I'm going to use an image one today. There's that one. Great. And we'll pop our image in. It doesn't matter which image you want to put in there. Let's put that one in. And I'm also going to give this a minimum height and make it the same as the one next door. That will change the aspect, but that doesn't worry me too much. So again, let's go over to design. Sizing, minimum height 300. And as you can see, that's made that the same size as the one next door. Okay, if we go back to our content here, go down to link. You can choose whether A, you want to link this to somewhere, like we did with the call to action, and you can take people somewhere, or whether you want to open it in a lightbox, which will pop out into a larger image. I'm going to use a lightbox for this. And you may notice when I hover over this image, it comes up with the actual name of the image there, which is Pexels. It was from pexels.com, which is a great site for free stock photos, and by Ray Billcliffe, obviously. I haven't changed that name. But if you want to have that not pop up when you hover over it, which would be my recommendation, pop over to Advanced, down to Attributes, and there you'll find the title or the name. Simply select it, delete that, and when you hover over it, that'll no longer pop up. That would be my preference. Obviously it's up to you, or you could put something meaningful in there. And when you hover over, it'll come up with that. I'm going to take mine away and have nothing there. Great, so that's our second one done. Let's go over to the third one, and let's just have a blurb image with a bit of info and an icon. So I'm going to hit this one again. Here's our modules. There's a blurb image. Again, I'll take a bit of that text away, more than I need for mine. And instead of an image, I'm going to use an icon up there. So if we roll down, and obviously you can put your title and your text here. And with all these modules where you put a title and a text in, you can go over to the Design tab. You can style them commonly, title and text all at once. If I flip this to the middle, you see they both flip to the middle. I can turn them light in color, and they'll disappear into the white background there. But we'll give this a background color in a minute. And you've got all kinds of options. You can style them completely different, title and body section here, and they've got all the regular text features. Divi is standard, comes with a crazy amount of fonts. It really has a huge amount of fonts to choose from. If you want to audition one, simply roll over it and it will give you an example of that particular text. I'm going to stick with the default today. And of course you can make it regular, bold, semi-bold, depending on the font you're using. Uppercase, lowercase, etc. Text alignment, colors, letter spacing and line height, and also text shadow here. And they've all got that for both of them. I'm going to leave mine just as it is, as I know you can't see it at the moment because it's white on white. Let's go back to our content, give it a colored background so you can see it again. Okay, well that's fine, but I don't want to use an image. That's an image placeholder. I'm going to use an icon for mine. So image and icon, content, just under the text here. Let's flip that to on, and we'll choose an icon. Let's just use that little arrow right there. It's going to work for me. Great. I'm going to leave that just like that. You can style your icon and give it a size and everything over in the design if you want to. I'm going to leave mine just like that. I do want to give this a bit of padding all round, and I also want to make it our fixed height. So let's, still in the design, let's close up image and icon. We'll go down to sizing, and again we'll use our minimum height. Fantastic. And let's give it a bit of padding all around. I'll close up the sizing. Just below it we've got spacing. Let's give it 25 pixels all around. Top, just put in the 25, it will put in the pics. Bottom, same for left and right. That's actually okay. That's working well. I don't need to give it any more padding. That seems to fit on there nicely. Great. Now if you wanted to link your icon or your whole module somewhere, you could do that over in the content down in links. And you can link your title or your module wherever you want here. I'm going to leave mine just like that, but if you want to put in links, this is where you do it for that module. Same best practices will apply. Okay. Now let's make the magic happen. Okay, what I really want to happen, I don't want to see that, or that when we initially load the page. I want to see 3 little images. And then when we hover over the images, I want these things to appear. The way this actually works with most image to text hover effects is the image that you see initially is going to reside in the columns of the row. So let's go into our row and add some images. I'm going to click on the field right here. Going to go up in the green tab for the row right here. Inside we've got 3 columns, left, middle, right, left, middle, right, obviously. So let's go into our first one, go down to background. I'm going to add an image. We've got color, gradient, image, video, background pattern or background mask. I'm going to add an image. Choose whatever images you want to show initially on your page. That one's fine. Now we won't see it because we've got our module in the way there. That's fine. And I'm going to continue to do the same thing. I've saved. We're back in the main row settings. Roll back up to the next column. We'll add a picture for that. I add a background image. Here's our second one here. And exactly the same for the third column. Save, and it will take us back to the row settings. Go up to number 3 this time. Background image again. And pop in whatever image you want to load there. Great. So all our rows, let's save our changes, back to the rows, save the row changes. All our rows now have image behind these. So we want to make these disappear and only appear when we hover on it, so we can just see the images behind. Really easy, no coding to do. Let's click on the module, hit the little cog to go in there. To the design tab, we're going to go down to filters, and we used this in our last video. If we roll down a bit, we'll find opacity, which is transparency or see-throughness. Now this is common to most Divi modules. If you hover over the dark writing here, go to the one that you want to affect, opacity in our case. If there's a little arrow there, click on the arrow. We can set a desktop state when our mouse is not on it. When our mouse is not on it, remember we're working on this module here, I don't want to see it at all, I just want to see the image, that one right there. When we hover over it, I want that to come back in 100%. Now the time it takes by default to get from desktop to hover state with Divi is 300 milliseconds, which is pretty quick. If you want to slow it down for a bit of drama, go over to your advanced tab. I'm going to go down to transitions. There's the default 300. Just type in whatever you want. Let's go 750, 3/4 of a second. I'm going to leave transition delay just as it is. It wants to happen as soon as they put their mouse on it. Speed curve, my go-to usually for hover effects is ease in, ease out. These are all subtly different, but ease will actually work for this today, so I'm just going to leave it on that. Then all we need to do is simply go into our next modules and rinse and repeat. I know this is an image, but we're going to swap to a different image. So I'm going to go into the image, over to design, to filters again, down to opacity, and we'll do exactly the same thing. Get the little arrow up, desktop, don't want to see it at all. Hover, want to see it fully. And the time, switch between the two, do 750 again. Second one done, we'll do the same for the third one here. Again, click on it, we'll go in there, design, down to filters, down to opacity, get our little arrow up, desktop state, disappear, hover state, bring it back, timing 750. Okay, once I've done this, we should be good to go. We'll save our changes here. We'll go down and save the page changes, or publish if you're ready. Let's go up and exit the visual builder, roll on down, and there we are. There's our 3 little images. When we hover over, first one is going to fade into our call to action. We can click on the button and read the text. When we're done, it'll go back to the image. Our second one, we've got an image here. When we hover over, the image is going to fade in, and we can click on it and pop it out into a light box, because that was the settings we gave to it. And our third one is just a simple blurb module. If I hover over it, it'll fade in, and we didn't give this one a link, but you can link this, you can link the title or the whole module if you prefer. So there we go guys, there's 3 little image to text hover effects for you. Really easy to do. And like I say, no coding involved in this today at all. So I hope you've enjoyed this and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.